And I'm live. Sorry, I'm slightly distracted. The webcam did all manner of dumb shit. Anyone who watches these live streams, whether you watch them live or watch them back, will know I am regularly cursing my fucking webcam. Hello, Megaleech. How are you this evening? But yes, I switched it on just now, as sometimes happens when I'm getting ready for a live stream. A bunch of last minute things happen. I thought, I'm going to be on time. And I switched it on, the webcam came on, and it was like dark as fuck and out of focus. And it's like, sure, webcam, why the fuck not? I mean, I didn't touch a single fucking thing since last night, but why not just fuck everything, you fucking stupid piece of shit. Abigail, hello, good evening. Megaleech, I forgot to do the countdown because the webcam really distracted me with its fuckery. So I kind of like the countdown, but I forgot. Weirdly, like you told me that worked when I did the webcam and then the little animation, they actually played in sequence. I watched that back on YouTube. The countdown, when you watch it on YouTube, starts from somewhere and finishes before 0 and then just shows the little end bit of the animation. It's like, okay, that is really quite strange. How the fuck is that? Safi, you slept much better last night. Well, that's nice. And I'm glad you like the t-shirt too. I like it. Got a very 70s vibe going on. It's one of those ones I got on a random t-shirt day from one of those websites that does pop culture t-shirts. I used to do that a lot, and then I had lots of t-shirts, so I didn't. And then I found out the one I used most of the time, T Fury, apparently was having a very bad run of not fulfilling orders, and everyone really had the shits at them. I have no idea if they fixed that up. This is from a different site. And just now, because these come from overseas, and it's just like, everything's so fucked up now with international deliveries. I don't want to risk it. So I got, like I said, on Saturday, I got one of my international deliveries that I've been waiting for a really long time. Arrived on Saturday. But yeah. Annette, the two big questions: is Trump dead yet? Are we ever going to get out of lockdown? The big unanswerable questions. Both of them is not yet. Actually, they're answerable. The answer to both of them is not yet. So we must soldier on like brave little souls and see where we end up. That's what I was going to do. I just remembered. Just for funsies, I was gonna see how long ago I ordered that vest. Dracula clothing. 27th of August. Okay, so it actually wasn't that long. Oh, no, wait, August. Yeah, it was that long. It was 6 weeks. Okay. Which is kind of what I expected. And so I'm not really down on them for taking that long. But yeah, that vest took 6 weeks to arrive. And I was kind of very prepared for it to never show. The smell gone. I did put it in the washing machine. Didn't seem to damage it. Did seem to get rid of 99% of the smell. And when I smelled it on the line, I don't know if it's my imagination, but I felt like there was a tiny remnant of the formaldehyde smell. And so I wasn't planning on, wearing it probably until next Friday night when I make another video. So I'm in no rush to bring it in off the line. So it can just air out for a couple of days. Won't hurt it. Celtic King, no idea if Hazy's doing it. Peter, thank you for liking the hair. And yes, Trump seems to be high as a fucking kite on drugs. Went and said, I'm not on drugs anymore. And he had the Band-Aids on the back of his hand that you get if someone gives you an intravenous injection in the back of the hand. So I don't want to shock anyone too much, but I think Trump is lying to us. So I think he's still fucking high on drugs. But he hasn't crashed. So maybe he's not going. I mean, anything could happen in the next week. Anything could happen. The world's just so fucking weird. Literally anything could happen. He could still crash in the next week. Maybe he's not going to. And I stand by, not in the mean I want Trump to die or suffer thing, but just in terms of the public health message and the danger to everyone in the world. Trump not suffering is really bad for everyone. Really fucking bad. Celtic King, have I ever been on drugs? Am I going to admit to criminal activity on a web stream? Yes. Because I have. So, yes. Not for ages, but, you know, misspent youth and all that. But, you know, 90s rave scene, that type of thing. Having kids curtailed that quite a bit. Not in a bad way. It's just a conscious decision I made of, if there was ever a situation where there was some emergency with the kids and I couldn't handle it because I was fucked up on drugs, that would be really bad. So I think, and arguably you could reasonably say the same thing about alcohol, but just certain drugs have an effect from. I'm just looking. Oh, right. Okay. I've been trying to do a milk clarified thing and it's not working. And I was just looking at the bloody funnel and there was something weird on it, but I worked out what it is. So don't panic. Okay. Stop panicking. Panicking's helping no one. There's a little bit of trivia. When I make the cocktails for the coming week for my cocktail channel on YouTube, I have to make them a second time to do close-ups on the making of. And I usually do that during the day on Saturday, or, you know, the day after I shoot the cocktails anyway. And often it's during the day. I don't actually want to drink cocktails again. So I have taken to just putting them all into a jug and milk clarifying it and seeing what comes out the other end. And because it usually works really well. But this one, it had the Advocaat in it, and it's not I thought it was separating, but it isn't. And thinking hard about it, then I realized, wait, Advocaat with the egg and the alcohol is probably prone to separating anyway. So there's probably an additive in the Advocaat that stops the separation, which is the actual process I want to happen with milk clarification. So the Advocaat can't be milk clarified. Live and learn. So I'm going to get a drink that doesn't look like a normal milk clarified drink. It is still going to be yellow and milky in color. Hopefully it's going to taste good. It's got all manner of weird shit in it. Who the fuck knows what it's going to... I might have wasted a bunch of booze. I don't know if it's going to be drinkable. Celtic King, you don't see me into the rave scene. Oh, dude. I didn't do it heaps, actually, but I did go to a couple of really fucking good raves in the 90s. Really good ones. Yes, these days my kids could... Well, they don't have their license. So they are old enough to drive me to the hospital, but they don't have their license. Abigail, you had emergency look after a friend's kid while coming down once. Freaked you the fuck out. No. Yeah. Oh, but you sorted it out, so that's okay. But yeah, it is pretty stressful. Or I imagine it would be stressful. So, yes, it's a thing. Did a thing back in the 90s. It was really funny. I had a security clearance I had to do years ago, and one of the questions was, have you ever taken drugs? And I was like, do they want me to say no? Because they could drug test me and it'd come up negative because fucking nothing in my system. do they want me to say no, or to make it simple, or do they want me to tell the truth and make it complicated? This is weird because I just thought it's such a dumb fucking question. Like, such an enormous proportion of the population would have to answer yes to that question if they were being honest. Have you ever taken drugs? Like, have you ever smoked a joint? Have you? So I said yes, and so they did ask me about it, and I just went, and I even told them, man, I didn't know if you wanted me to just fucking lie and make it easier, because I'll submit to a drug test any day because I haven't done it for years. And they just said, okay, we just want to put something on file of how you stopped doing, like, you changed your environment, you distanced yourself from that. I went, yeah, I don't fucking go to raves anymore. I didn't say fucking because it was with the army. That's right. I did secret. I wasn't in the army. I did secret IT work for the army years ago. So apparently every federal government position, you have to have a security check now, because before my current contract got extended to June next year, which was like, yeah, such good news. The other agencies were calling me, and one of them was with a federal government job, not with the military, not with any sort of enforcement thing, just the federal government department. And they said, oh, you'd have to do a security clearance. And I was like, oh, okay, weird. Okay, Celtic King is going to shower and masturbate. That's a good place to do it. It's easy to clean up, I assume. I don't. That seems really awkward to me. Masturbating standing up. That's weird. Anyway, Abigail, you went to goth clubs in the 90s and raves in the noughties. Why not? Why not indeed? I used to go to live rock gigs in the 80s and still went to live gigs in the 90s, but started going to raves in the 90s. And now I'm old and half deaf, and I do not go. If I go to anything loud now, I'll wear earplugs to protect what little hearing I have left. Sorry, I'm just adjusting something over here. My weird yellow milky drink. Come on, you can do it, big guy. Ugh. A little bit annoying, but hopefully that weird concoction, maybe I just give it to, young Mr. Angry to drink. Like, hey, here's just a weird fucking mixed up drink. You just drink when you hang out with your friends online. Doesn't taste great. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Fuck. Maybe it tastes nice and I'm going to want it. So, yeah, what's happening? It's just one of those things. Ugh. So that was my adventure in science this weekend. For the first time, having one of my milk clarifications fail and then working out the probable cause of that. So at least I learned something. Don't put Advocaat in that again, but that's okay. Hey, Chris, how are you? Well, this AM, your time. As you are well aware, evening my time, very obvious from the big black outdoors behind me. It is dark. Although, actually, in a couple months, it will be light. Remember that? Remember me doing the live streams in summer, and it starts off, and it's light for the first hour, and then dark for the second hour. We're not quite there yet at 8:15. It is very much full dark, but we'll get there. We'll get there in a couple months. It won't even sunset till 8:30, and it won't be full dark till 9. Love that. I don't like how hot it is at that time of year, but I do like the long days. I am a fan of them. Oh no, Megalich, was there a necessity to check up on Charlie? That doesn't sound good. Safa, is it still light in Northern Victoria? Probably depends what part of Northern Victoria. Because what was it? East sets in the west. If you're in northwest Victoria, it would probably be light still. That's right. That's a theory. I'm just trying to get east and west sort out with the sun. And yes, no. Yes, I understand if you were in northwest, and it's actually not the north; it's the west. That's the thing. Oh, okay. She's fine. She wanted a quiet night. Who doesn't want a quiet night? Tomorrow will be my quiet night. I'll probably just watch some televisual entertainment with Mrs. Angry. I might have done that tonight, but she's talking to her bro in the UK, and they'll be on the phone for a while. So I thought, I'm coming in and doing a live stream. But I'll be having a quiet night tomorrow night and watch a couple of episodes of probably Raised by Wolves. I'm not sure how many of those I have to go. But that's I'm quite enjoying that show. If you haven't seen it, it's this dystopian future thing. These two androids sent to another planet with human embryos to try and raise them because, humanity's destroying itself in a war and they're trying to start afresh. And I won't tell you anything, but if you watch the trailer, weird shit happens in this show. And I'll tell you what I'll give them. It's going in directions I did not expect. I really they've surprised me with some of the stuff. It's a TV series, one of the prestige TV series, Abigail, Raised by Wolves. It is pretty good. It's like directed or created by Ridley Scott, the rather quite famous sci-fi film director, Alien, Blade Runner, that type of thing. I actually recommend Raised by Wolves. It goes in very surprising. It's on Foxtel in Australia. I'm not sure. I don't think you can get it on anything but Foxtel in Australia. I think it's an HBO series. If you're outside Australia, it's an HBO series. All the good HBO stuff is on Foxtel in Australia. Chris, you had a nice, cool, rainy day, and you want to get a bike ride in tomorrow. Nice. Abigail, you reckon Raised by Wolves is on Netflix? I did not know that. I'm not saying it isn't. I just did not know. Other things looking forward to, although The Expanse is not coming until December. And oh god, something's coming out. Something's coming out halfway through this month. What is it? Something I was really excited by. Now I've forgotten. Oh, I forgot. Something was starting halfway through this month, and I was well into it when it advertised. Abigail, all the good HBO shows are on BitTorrent. You might say that, but I couldn't possibly comment. Oh, wow. Chris, you got interactions on the tweet because you're voting green. That's it. See, Safi, you knew what I was excited about. Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I am excited to watch Season 2 of The Mandalorian because I've actually only just watched Season 1. I waited ages to get Disney Plus and watched Season 1 of The Mandalorian, and it was good. So, yes, The Mandalorian starts soon. Looking forward to that. See, Chris, if someone said to me they were doing a protest vote because they hated Biden and they were voting Green or voting Independent or voting, oh God, what are those fucking idiots called? Libertarian. And they said they were doing it as a protest, I'd call them a fucking idiot and smack them around. But because I know you have actually been a dedicated Green voter for a while, I absolutely defend your decision to vote Green and promote the Greens. If someone's saying, I'm doing it as a protest, I'd probably want to smack them around and tell them to get over themselves. But if you're actually committed to the Green Party, that's completely different, and that is absolutely legitimate voting. And I'll fucking back you up, man, if someone goes you at it. But yes. Oh, Sophie saying there's live Ahsoka rumors for season 2 of The Mandalorian. That would be interesting. I watched a little bit of the animated series, The Clone Wars. Not much though. Safa, that's a good question. Is the US green different from the Aussie green? I think the short answer would be yes, but broadly similar goals. They're not direct. They're definitely not directly affiliated, and there's I guess the it's just going to be different from country to country because of cultural aspects. But I think you could say, in all probability, the European Greens, the American Greens, Australian Greens, New Zealand Greens have broadly similar agendas, but there are going to be differences country to country. Chris, you just said I'm voting Green. Oh, wow. Yeah. A big wind up. I kind of thought it was funny when I thought it was funny. I was listening to a bit those rowdy young ruffians on Chapo Trap House, the Dirtbag Left podcast, when one of them was on, I don't know which TV, whether it was CNN or Fox or MSNBC, and they were trying to make him look bad and say like, okay, you're a mad Bernie supporter, but what are you going to do? How are you going to vote? And he goes, that doesn't work. I live in New York. My vote doesn't fucking count. New York's going Democrat. No matter, my vote literally doesn't change that. Nothing I say or do will change the outcome in New York. So you can't get me like that. You can't say I'm bad and I'm getting Trump elected. No, I'm fucking not, because my vote doesn't count because of how heavily weighted the state's votes are to Democrats. So it's a green salad of democratic socialists and environmental justice. Yes. God, what was that? This silly paranoid American movie from the 80s where they basically said, is the reason the communists invaded America because they were emboldened by the European Greens. Like, the Greens, they're so bad, they're so dangerous. Yeah, Biden on the West Coast is the same. Yeah, it's the US system is just fucked up. There's no two ways about it. There's got to be a balance. See, like in Australia, we have proportional balance. Because I grew up in the country, and all these people should be one person, one vote. It's like, well, get fucked, because that would always 100% invariably marginalize people in rural areas, and that isn't fair. To say like your voice will literally never count for anything, because if everyone in the rural areas voted the same way, they'd all get outvoted by one major city. So that's bullshit. But the American system with the Electoral College and all states having 2 senators, no matter what, like, was it Kansas has only got a couple million people and has 2 senators, and California's got 40 million people and has 2 senators. That's fucking stupid. That is fucking stupid. And the Electoral College is fucking stupid. You've got to strike some sort of balance where the people in the sparsely populated areas, their votes weighted to a degree so there's a chance they can have some influence on policy. But the US system's fucking moronic. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Chris saying many Bernie people setting up an indie campaign to get Congress seats. So a coalition would have to be formed. See, that again, in America, yeah, if I wanted radical change, I would be way more focused on local races and congressional races and Senate races, because the Democratic Party just proved it's borderline impossible to have any effect on any radical effect on the presidential race. Safa, it is true that Australia's politics mostly focuses on cities. And again, growing up in the country, it was very obvious that people in the urban centres are oblivious to their level of privilege and advantage. That is really, really, really obvious. That at every level, from school and tests and results and jobs and everything, a majority of people in urban centres are absolutely oblivious to their level of privilege and how fucking everything goes in their favour. But the way the country seats are calculated, there's, that's why the Country Party exists, although they fucking suck and they're getting replaced by independents because they suck so much. There's a chance when you properly weight the votes that the people in the sparsely populated areas might be able to influence policy. But yes. Chris, there's a shitload of indie candidates in Washington State. Oh, okay. Voting on the issue per issue of a candidate. Nice. Yes. Well, of course, we in Australia, it's, it feels like a two-party system. It's not as locked down to two parties like the US is. We have a lot more independent politicians and, Greens and whatnot getting elected to the parliament than happens in the US. But it kind of feels like you've only got the choice of the what's increasingly becoming the far right party and sort of the center right Labor Party. The theory was, they were they were pro. The early days of Labor, as the name suggests, was formed out of the union movement. It was formed out of the labor movement, and it was to say, hey, the rich people have decided fucking everything up till now. Maybe we need some different voices going on. Sophie was saying, yeah. Okay, so that's your mum's in Indy. Sophie Mirabella was who was the Liberal Party representative for years. She was the epitome of the worst of the conservative politicians in Australia. She was fucking awful. Chris, the New Zealand Labor Party at the moment looks much better than the Australian Labor Party. If I were to sum up how I felt about the Australian Labor Party for the goodly 4-6 years or whatnot, that summary would be weak as piss. Just fucking terrible. Absolutely pathetic, not standing for anything. Just getting with if we just say we're not the Liberal Party, maybe people will vote for us. Fuck that. Campaign positively, not negatively. Don't campaign, I'm not that guy. Campaign, I'm this guy, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is why it's a great thing for you to fucking support me. And as we saw, it didn't fucking work. And I am utterly gobsmacked by how brain-bendingly pathetic Albanese is. Just fucking pathetic. Oh, Louis Vuitton, hello. Was that Sophie Mirabella sent you a 21st birthday card? Nice. Chris, your congresswoman hates you. Right. That's a thing. That's an interesting thing. It feels to me much more ingrained in the US, and this is just from what I see. It seems much more ingrained in the US than in Australia. That call your congressperson, call your senator, and it has an effect. That seems a much more you can do it in Australia. It just seems to have a much more ingrained sort of thing to do in the US, because I always see references to it. So for Indies, usually not as big as the seats in Queensland. Like I think, like all of Queensland outside of Brisbane is only 2 seats. I'll double check. Electoral map, Australia. All right. The AEC, they ought to know. Maps and spatial data. Yeah, okay, let's see. Is this going to show me? Queensland. Okay, I was exaggerating. Okay, so there's all the Brisbane seats. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 seats outside of Brisbane. So it's like, is that 90 seats in Queensland or something? So it's like 90% of the state only has 10% of the seats, and 10% of the state geographically has 90% of the seats. How is it in Victoria? Same deal. How many seats are there outside of Melbourne? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are only 7 seats outside of Melbourne. Wow. Yeah, Indy's really big. Gippsland's really big. Mallee is the biggest geographically looking. That's the northwest seat. It's in the northwest of the state. It's the biggest geographically. There you go. Safa was a Labor person for Broadford. Yes, I think that is a Melbourne suburb. Louis Button. We talking about Sleepy Joe? We can talk about Sleepy Joe if we want. I think he's too friendly with Republicans, quite honestly, because he seems to ignore what psychopathic bastards they are. I just think he sucks. He's just boring. Doesn't the Northern Territory only have about 3 seats? Let's have a look. There's only 1, actually. Lingari. Okay. Electoral seats, Australia. Okay, so there's 151 seats in the House of Representatives in Australia. So, oh God, no, this one's gone and put them alphabetically. Okay, so there are only 3 seats in the ACT, shit ton in New South Wales. How many is that in Queensland? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 30 odd. 7 of them are outside of Brisbane. Yeah, so it is what it is. Oh, Louis Vuitton. I mean, Biden's at least a human, whereas Trump is a raging ball of narcissism and white supremacy in a badly stitched together skin suit. Yeah, if anyone asked me in that presidential race who to vote for, I would absolutely say Biden. So, oh, big bad ads, Jackie Lambie. Okay, Jackie Lambie has potential. The old Jackie tells it like she sees it. She has shown an unfortunate tendency to lapse into the stupidest of bigotry. But on a lot of issues, when she's voiced her concern, I have a lot of time for her. I think Jackie Lambie is someone you could reach and say, hey, look, I get where you're coming from with that thing, but let's actually look at it rather than do this sort of knee-jerk bigot thing. I feel like you could maybe reach her, but I don't know. What do I think of my local member? I live in the eastern suburbs in this belt of Liberal Party seats, and they're all fucking knobs. And I was so they got real shook in the state election last time, and I was so hoping they were going to get shook in the federal election, but all the voters went super conservative, and all the Liberals won their seats, and I was real fucking shagged off with that. Yes, Chris, I think Trump is a walking bioweapon, shitting COVID everywhere. And they just keep lying about his condition. It's just like, what the fuck? Why all the lies? Stella, hello. Good evening to you. So, yeah, the lies from the fucking Trump camp are wild. Yes, Louis Vuitton. I live. There's a whole belt of Liberal Party seats around me. Like I said, the state election was fun because they got shook the fuck up, and I was really hoping that would happen in the federal election, and it didn't, which was super fucking depressing. Big Bad Ad, she doesn't have an ideology, which you kind of like. Everyone has an ideology. You mean she doesn't conform specifically to one political party? She has her own ideologies, and one of her ideologies is undeniably ignorant and racist and bigoted. But because she's shown an open mind on a lot of other topics, I think it would be possible to sit down and talk with her and go, look, okay, I get where you're coming from with it. Here's your concern. Here's why refugees or migrants aren't actually the problem in that scenario. I think you could talk to her. But yes, she has had fucking tendency to trot out some really ignorant, bigoted shit from time to time. Safi, your local member had a 10% swing against that. Yeah, that gives them a scare when they get a swing like that, if they don't lose the seat. And Abigail's in a green seat. Lucky Abigail. Louis Vuitton, she obviously has an ideology. She's nationalistic, not that far from white nationalistic, but she does genuinely care about the working class. That's who you move around. Yeah, and that's exactly what I would do, Louis. I would go with the class aspect and say, I understand your concern here and your concern here. Let's talk about what's really causing the problem. Because it's not refugees, it's not migrants, because they don't have the fucking power to cause a problem. They're being scapegoated by the people who are causing the problem. Oh, that's nice, Chris. You have a city councillor and mayor who are indie. That's nice. Stella, you reckon she doesn't care about the working class any further than it suits her cause? Well, that's where we come into ideology. There are certain things where she's shown real class conscious politics, and other times she hasn't, and she's she's been swayed in particular ways at particular times. So that's why I absolutely have problems with her, but I feel like you could reach her. But yeah, who actually knows what's really going on with someone? Oh, Chris, your Indy mayor got you a transit system across the river from Portland. Nice, 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 nice. Yes, I'm a big advocate of public transit. But yes, politics is weird and complicated. I heard this approach, and a couple of the guys who are actually in the live stream sometimes part of this group that explores, how can democracy be improved, essentially. And one of the interesting ideas, and there's a name for this, and I've forgotten what it is, but it's almost like syndicalism, the anarchist approach. It's like literally it's literally about you in terms of like having a council, having a government in your neighborhood. Like there's you organize like groups of 8 people, and you're voting on a local issue, and then that group of 8 nominates one person, like, okay, you carry our vote up to the next group of 8, and one person from 8 groups of 8 get together in their next group of 8, and they go through the same process, and they nominate one from that group of 8 to take their voice to the next level. And there's actually surprisingly few layers. Like if we calculate how much of the total population, so going, the first group is 8 people, the second group is 8 times 8, and then the third group is times 8. So that's one person representing 500 people times 8. And then there's the fourth one is one person representing 4,000 people. And then you take it up one more by 8. And then you've got one person representing 32,000, which is kind of like an average member of parliament now, and times 8. And then you're up to 250,000 people with one level beyond that. And of course, you don't have to go any higher than that. So you see how that kind of works. Yeah, Louis, basically anarcho-syndicalism. I'm fucking bang up for that. We're having an argument about the Indu card, or at least a discussion. And the Indu card was definitely originally super fucking racist, and I honestly think that's why Jackie Lambie supports it, because she's been sold these fucking colonizer paternalistic lies about race in Australia. As Indu expands, Indu is class warfare. There is no question in my mind about that. It was absolutely first a tool of control for Indigenous Australians, and that was how it's, because white Australians get sold this thing that, it's for their own good, all the money's going on booze and drugs, and they're all pedophiles too. And the Indu card was definitely started up in a very racist way. Like that was absolutely its focus when it started up. But the expansion of it, and it is expanding, and they keep expanding of it, the expansion of it is fucking class warfare, and it's fucking evil. Like the Indu card is not neutral. It is an actively oppressive tool to humiliate and demean the people who are already the most vulnerable people in and the people who have the least in society. The Inju card is a piece of fucking evil. Absolutely started off as a tool of racism, but it is being expanded into full-scale class warfare at the moment. Oh yeah, no, Stella, the Inju, it's dehumanizing, it's cruel, it's spiteful, it's unnecessary, it's inefficient, it's punitive, it's fucking class warfare. It's fucking sick. Oh, Louboutin, the anti-intervention is just the fucking white John Howard and the white Australia policy. It's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. But yes, at least you've heard of a case where an Aboriginal community burnt a pedo in their midst. Yeah, well, you know, if the people in the cities and the white people did it, there'd be a lot less Catholic priests, wouldn't there? Anyway. Oh, Mofo, Simon, we're just talking about some of the democracy politics that you told me about in the past. I did see Kevin Rudd is apparently trying to get this petition up saying there should be a royal commission into the Murdoch media's damage to democracy in Australia. It's never going to get up. It is absolutely never going to get up because it's not that I disagree with the basis of the thing. I fucking hate the Murdoch media, but it is clearly ideologically motivated, and the people in power have an ideology that they want to protect Murdoch because Murdoch protects them. Louis, when did a petition ever change anything? Public pressure changes things. Kevin Rudd, fuck that guy. Seriously, such a shithead. He was such a disappointment. He was shaping up to be good, and then he's just such a horrible person. No one could work with him. Fuck him, honestly. Still, for work, you've got to do some work on your day off because they can't organise a route in a brothel. Damn, that sucks. Yes, Kevin Rudd is a conservative little Christian, but did promote some good social issues within the Labor Party. But yes, then, as I said, he was just such an obnoxious shit. No one could work with him. Raging fucking narcissist. Which was super disappointing. Super disappointing. He was shaping up to be something good, but no one could work with him. Gillard was shaping up to be pretty good, and psychotic little bastard Rudd completely undermined that. Evil fuck. And fucking Bill Shorten was behind both of those fucking plots, and fuck him. The fact that Labor rewarded him with the leadership when he was central to all that fucking instability for all those years. Fuck him. Honestly, fuck him. Bullshit. Fucking Labor Party, weak as piss these days. Oh, sorry, I'm not going far away. I'm just going over here to check something. That's kind of fascinating. Ooh, that is kind of fascinating. That is kind of fascinating. So I'm trying to do it. Oh, you dense motherfucker. You dense. I just did a stupid thing that I've done before, and the same fucking thing happened, and now I'm really pissed off. It would take too long to fucking explain, but I'm fucking annoyed with myself at the moment. Okay, I am. All right, I'm taking my chair over here. I'm just getting something. So fucking annoyed with myself at the moment. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is probably a bad idea. Okay, I'm doing it anyway. If you hear a crash and a scream, I'm probably dead. Okay. Right, I have to rinse this thing. Or, gee, oh God, I'm just so fucking annoyed now. Oh, I'm so annoyed with myself. What's this? This might do. Might do for a while anyway. This is my milk clarification I just fucked up. Because I did a dumb thing that I've done before more than once. And every time I do this dumb thing, the same thing happens. But I fucking did it again. And it happened again. Because I don't fucking learn. Ugh. Big bad ads, Labour or Greens? There are actually lots of elements of the Greens that shit me. Not least, they're never going to form government. I think if you're really into the Greens, actually actively working with them and lobbying with them is more effective than voting for them. Hey, Shannon on Facebook. How you going? I'm just doing my little milk clarification. It looks like yellow milk at the moment. Not clarified at all. I'm an Egypt. I screwed this up. Okay, Shannon, you're a Greens card carrying member. There you go. So yeah, with the Greens, I think, yes, Megaleech, that's literally what I was going to say. If you're in an area where you can get somewhere with the Greens, I think an actual coalition where Labor couldn't get power on their own, and so they were forced into a coalition with the Greens, which would drag them in a more progressive way. I see that as a potentially very good thing. So that's a seat-by-seat thing. Like if you can start to sway people in your seat, then something will happen. Yep, there's a mysterious figure at the door. It's you weird. Mysterious figure things. Watch after.
Something can in the fridge.
Okay. Yes, that's it, Megaleech. Drag the Overton window because friggin' the right wing, the white supremacists and neo-Nazis have been dragging it to the right for years. So nice, have a go. You do both, vote and work with them. And remember, yeah. Yeah, that is my mysterious 6-foot stranger there, aka young Mr. Angry. So yeah, I think the Greens could potentially drag Labor to the left, which I'd be in favour of. Of course, the fucking Labor gets psycho at the Greens winning votes in traditionally Labor seats because people who got the shits with Labor, rightly so in almost every case, go with oh, hey, there's actually an alternative, someone who I feel is representing my views a bit better. And that's why Labor always psychotically attacks the Greens, because Labor loses seats to the Greens. Except in very rare cases, and I think it has happened once, the Conservatives never lose seats to the Greens. So that's why that's why Labor gets all sort of wacko and anti-green, because they lose seats to the Greens. The Conservatives don't lose seats to the Greens. So it weakens Labor's position. And of course, Labor are all about power. So they don't like it. Okay, you're using the American term, Chris. Sorry. Small L liberals in the US hate actual leftists more than conservatives. There is a lot of evidence to support that, yes. I literally don't understand that argument. If you want Left Party to move back across the centre to the left, let's get broad left vote for Labor. They won't move left beforehand. Okay, counterpoint, literally the exact opposite. Labor will lose an enormous amount of votes as they continue to move further right. And they will be dooming themselves because they're never going to win over the real arch conservatives, and they need to fucking understand that. Probably way worse is the Democrats in the US with their ridiculous things of, I'm going to win across these fucking rednecks. No, you're not. No, you're not. Write them off, for fuck's sake. Mofo sign, Labor should focus on the main opponent. I mean, the Conservative parties. Well, that's what Green supporters often say. Why is Labor so aggressively attacking the Greens rather than their actual opposition? It's going, well, because the Conservatives don't lose seats to the Greens. Labor does. So Labor wants to squish them. So if you thought Howard would be PM forever, he was certainly PM for a long time. Nothing compared to Robert Menzies, but he was PM for a long time. But everything changes eventually. Eventually, in the end. Yep. Okay, Louis Vuitton, we literally fundamentally agree. I think Labor are moving further to the right because they're weak as fucking piss. And they are never going to win over the more progressive voters with the cunt acts that they keep doing. They are just fucking weak as piss with their neoliberal fucking bullshit. Voters don't owe political parties a goddamn motherfucking thing. Political parties need to deliver to voters. No, I don't want to discuss it on a Discord thing. Look, no, you have an opinion. I have an opinion. They're just opinions, and they happen to be mutually conflicting. But mine is centered around voters don't owe political parties a fucking thing. You're cringing so hard. No, get fucked. Honestly, that is why people are abandoning the Labor Party with cunt attitudes like that. Just fucking ridiculous. And yes, ads, Labor are definitely scared of Murdoch. Although it was funny, Shorten wouldn't go and hold court with Murdoch, and so got crushed by the Murdoch media. So the fear of the Murdoch media is not without foundation. Yeah. So what happens if a current PM loses a seat and the party's re-elected? The party just nominates a new leader. Simple as that. That's how people do not vote for a prime minister. People vote for their local member. The party with the most members in parliament forms a government or a coalition, and then in the party room, they vote for who the party leader is. So simple as that. So I don't think it's ever happened, but it obviously could happen because we have had, party leaders lose their seat. John Howard was a particularly hilarious one. Tony Abbott, being the only federal Liberal who lost his seat at the last election, was fucking hilarious. Rowan Battle on Twitch, hello, how you doing? And Locust Trooper, hey, how you doing? God, Louis Vuitton, that argument is so fundamentally fucked. voters have to suck up to the political parties rather than the political parties serve the voters? Get fucked. No. And sorry, okay, that sounds like I'm being really hostile and negative to you, and I don't mean to. I just mean, nah. Not that philosophy. No. No fucking way. God, the chat's doing weird fucking things and jumping about. What are you saying? Shannon on Facebook says people aren't supposed to vote for party leader, voting for the party, but everyone votes for the leader. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I think, Shannon. I think the leader of the political party shapes the message of the party and is a big influencer in who people vote for. But the voting public do not vote for the party leader. Rowan Battle on Twitch. Your girlfriend cheated on you, and that makes it a weird week. That kind of sucks. That absolutely sucks. No, Louis Vuitton. I'm absolutely, to that argument, I'm get royally fucked. It's like, oh, you progressives, you should vote for the party that's a steaming pile of gutless dog shit. No. Voters do not owe political parties a goddamn motherfucking thing, and that is some elitist fucking bullshit right there. Some elitist fucking bullshit. The political parties have to serve the fucking people. Look, it's true. Last time we talked was before Trump got COVID-19. Yes. And we still don't know how sick he actually is because they're like clearly like, I don't know. Who knows that one? Get back to what's going to happen in the next week. Nobody fucking knows. This whole fucking rolling thing of no, Shannon, this guy Louis is on YouTube. Louis Vuitton. Baton. Well, excuse me. The continuing series of unknowns is shitting me so much. Yeah, well, see, you know what's going to happen with that mentality, Louis? The Greens are going to win. It's simple. I think that's the mentality Labor has. And what's going to happen? Labor are going to lose more and more seats to Greens and Independents. Progressive people are not going to vote for Labor if Labor doesn't give them a reason. It is fucking contemptible to say the voters owe the political party a goddamn fucking thing. Absolutely fucking contemptible. So what's going to happen? Labor continues with their bullshit. They are not going to win a single Conservative fucking voter, and they are going to lose to progressive candidates, and they will fucking deserve it. It's as simple as that. You see me getting fired up there? It's fucking bullshit. So that is literally Labor holding a gun to their head saying, vote for us or the idiot gets it. And the public is just like, pull the trigger, you fucking idiot. That is Labor sliding into collapse doing that. And they've got to realize it one day, because they are never going to win people over with like, honestly, we're just like the Liberal Party, but you know, we're nicer, so vote for us. Get fucked. Stand for something, you weak as piss piles of shit. That's a mixed metaphor of excrement, isn't it? Oh, Louis, you can go. Okay, I said, that is the dumbest, smuggest, moronic fucking shit I have ever heard. That is someone who either knows nothing about politics or has their head up a major political party's asshole. That's fucking meaningless dog shit, okay? That is absolutely worthless fucking shit. Simple as that. Absolutely contemptible, worthless fucking shit. I mean, just that idea that voters owe political parties. Get fucked. Get fucked. Get fucked with a big old barbed wire fucking dildo straight up your ass. Honestly. That is the single stupidest comment I've ever fucking heard. Why would Labour move left without left support? How the cunting fuck do they get support from the fucking left without having decent fucking policies? We don't need Liberal Party light. We've got the fucking Liberal Party. They're fucking... No, Shannon, I'm having too much fun doing it on my own. It's just the dumbest, most contemptible, smug, moronic shit. And it's not going to work. It is literally never going to happen. If that's the mentality in the Labor Party are going to continue to lose seats to Greens and Independents, and they will fucking deserve it. And then maybe they get forced into a coalition. Then they have to actually be responsive to fucking voters. Oh my God, the idea that voters owe the political party is the biggest load of bullshit. It's pathetic. That's the mentality of a spoiled fucking 5-year-old. That's not deep, insightful politics. That's not the politics of realism. Me saying fuck the Labor Party if they won't have a decent policy lead to fascism. The Labor Party is saying there's no opportunity but to go to the right is ridiculous. It's just fucking stupid. And what you are summing up is every single thing that is wrong with the Labor Party and fucking Labor brokens. Absolute fucking horseshit. It's worthless. It's garbage. It's the epitome of entitled fucking elitists. Get fucked. It's not just that I disagree. Your points are stupid as fuck. They are absolutely stupid and they will not fucking work. Anyway, on a brighter side, Mofo Sign is currently using Defeat Dan's self-employed Australian website to find out how to vote Labor Greens in your latest... Oh yeah, council elections aren't that far. Oh, Louis Vuitton, bold of you to assume you're going to still be around, you rancid fucking cunt. You absolute pathetic slime. No, get fucked, cunt. That's the move of a cunt there. Oh, bold of you to assume I support Labor. Get fucked, you rancid, shit-eating troll cunt. Absolutely take it up the fucking ass, you fucking loser. No offense to people who enjoy taking it up the arse, by the way. And done. No. As soon as some cunt uses the troll, doing all this pro-Labor Party bullshit, and then goes, oh, bold of you to assume I support Labor. It's like, okay, you spineless, worthless fucking cunt. Fuck off. Okay, as soon as someone pulls an absolute hypocrite move, I'm done. I am fucking done and I'm fucking out. Hypocrites I will not tolerate. Jesus fuck. So if he wasn't really a troll, he was just a cunt. Mofo Sign, you want to find out who's who in the local elections. Yeah, which ones are the crazies? There's always crazies in local council elections, and it can be hard to pick them. A friend of mine who actually lives in the same electorate as me is like, lives in the same council area. It's like he's going to try and get me on a live stream of his to talk about the local elections. You like the Defeat Dan website because of its UX. Oh, Safi, you've got your year 12 history teacher going for council. Nice. No, apologies, because that's how I was just then. Is how I'd get in a council thing. Just going someone. I mean, but seriously, that dude saying voters owe the political party, you have to vote for a political party that's doing nothing for you if you want them to do something for you. That's the thing is, it's just stupid. People don't do that. And that's where small parties and the independents get seats. This is why in the country areas, because the Nationals have done fuck all for country people for decades. And that's why upstart independents and small parties have started to win. And, you know, like Bob Katter in Queensland or the Shooters and Fishers Party in New South Wales and Victoria. Because the Nationals have done fuck all for country people for so long. They're finally realising, like the Conservative people are saying, well, I'm never going to vote Labor. But Jesus, the Nationals are just shitting on us. They're doing nothing for us. And an independent pops up and says, hey, the Nationals do nothing for you, but I will. And that's why the Greens are making inroads in traditional Labor seats, because people are starting to say, geez, Labor kind of sucks balls, don't they? And the idea that voters have to vote for political parties in the hope they get what they want, as opposed to political parties have to deliver something to the voters to earn their vote. It's just, and the reality is that's not how it works. I mean, it's just dumb as shit. It's so fucking, that was the other thing. Despite the fact I find it to be a contemptible ideology that piece of shit was spouting, it's just dumb. Like, it doesn't work. That's not how it works. That's not a thing. That thing that he was just blithely asserting, oh, the voters just have to vote for them and then hope they get what they want. It's like, no, the political parties have to deliver to the voters or the voters won't vote for them. It's like, my God. Oh, God, that guy was so fucking stupid. Jesus, that's dumb. And yes, Safa, the Nationals are useless and deliver nothing to fucking conservative country people. They just suck up the Liberal Party, toe the Liberal Party line. Shannon, look at Kevin07. Main reasons he won, nothing to do with popularity. Yeah, and that was why I found Rudd so disappointing, because he started off really well. He seemed to be taking things in the right direction, but then just he as a person was impossible to work with. And so you had all that shit happen. My first sign, I have no idea about good resources to find out about local council elections. I would love if someone found such a thing. Definitely. No, Locust Trooper, it wasn't Bearing. It wasn't a troll. It was a stupid person. And the one thing they did that tipped me over the edge was not spouting a political ideology that I think is dumb as shit, although they were doing that. It's when they just pulled this smug, cynical, fucking hypocritical, oh, bold of you to assume I support Labor. And it's like, no, get fucked, get out. And hi, Charlie. You just missed me going right off at someone. Yeah, as soon as someone pulls that bullshit of not actually standing behind something, and it's like, no, you're actually a waste of time. It's like all these cockheads on the internet, I'm just being devil's advocate. You're a piece of shit. Fuck off. If you're not actually standing behind anything with integrity, just fuck off. I have no time for you. A bit like that. Yeah. That guy just pushed my button. Yes, Mofo sign, this local council stuff is like homework. It absolutely is. And it's annoying as fuck. It absolutely is. Yeah, so look, if I find out a resource for local council, because again, like I said, a friend of mine who comes in the chat sometimes, Dave Blumenstein, wants to arrange like a live stream discussion about the local council elections. And we're saying, okay, we hope we find someone who knows something about the candidates. If I ever find anything about the local candidates, a good resource, I will tell people. Locus Trip, you don't vote for the parties. It's down to if a local member kind of speaks to you, I think. And that's where I think the local member system is good. Even local members from the major parties, if they say to you, look, okay, yes, the party policy is blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of, this is my thing. I'm going to do this. I can do this for you. I can represent you in blah, 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 blah. Or an independent or a minor party, one of those things. Sometimes your local members just gonna suck and there won't be a good alternative. Sometimes you get a good alternative. It's a fucking lottery, really. Mofo Sign, what's that system called? I'm sure you were telling me about it, unless it was Alexa, but I'm sure if Alexa was talking about it, it's like you start with I was saying it was like syndicalism. You start off like your neighborhood, a group of 8 people vote, on the issues of the day, what they want. And then they say, okay, you're our representative. You're the one of our 8. And then that one meets with another 8 people and they're all the one representative of a group of 8. And they, hash it out at that level. And then that goes up again, like, 1, 8. So it's one person is representing 8 times better. Citizen juries, that's it. I knew you. I'm sure you told me about it. Citizen juries, that's called. Yes. Not the most impossible thing in the world to make worse. Musical Avo. Yeah, it's been home office since March 13. Lots of streaming services in your workplace. James, you agree with the views about National Party. Look at the last WA state election. Region National Party lost 70% seats of Country Labor. Greens bringing Mark McGowan landslide win. Yeah, it is a thing. And the national toting, they used to be a bit more independent of the Liberals, but they've just been toting up to the Liberals for fuck knows how long. And the country people feel betrayed by them. So they're increasingly voting for independents or minor parties, or at least the Nationals are losing a big chunk of their vote to independents and minor parties. Locus Trip, we were actually there. We have a lot of Green supporters here. We were just talking about Greens, and I would regard it as a positive future if the Greens won enough seats that Labor would have to form a coalition with them to form a government. Kind of like how the Nationals were the even more conservative coalition partner in the Conservative coalition. If there was a more progressive but small coalition partner in the Progressive Party, I would see that as a good thing, honestly. Because it would put more responsibility on the Greens to take things seriously. It's like, okay, you're now part of a coalition government. You have to deliver. So you can't really promote policies that just won't happen. Mind you, my views on energy, etc., definitely with the Greens, absolutely with the Greens. I don't even think that's radical. I just think it actually makes economic sense. But I could see that. I could see that as being a thing. Yeah, Mofo sign, but I thought with citizen juries, it was literally everyone. It wasn't random selection. It was like literally everyone. You start with a group of 8, nominate one person. They join the next level up group of 8, nominate one person, join the next level up group of 8, like that until you get to the top. And then you can recall, once you get to the top level, that's the person who's in Parliament. And if a majority of the layer below decide that person is no longer representing their views, they can withdraw them and nominate someone else. And the same deal all the way down. The 1 in 8 is not permanent. they're only the representative of the group of 8 for as long as those 8 people think they should be. Nothing's going to be perfect because people aren't perfect. And stupid shit's always going to happen because people are stupid shit. Mofo sign, maybe I just made that up. Maybe it's something Alexa said. Maybe it's how I turn something over in my head. I don't know. Liquid democracy. You think that's liquid democracy? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, people are fucked. There's no guarantees anyway. You can just do your best. Hope for the best. Plan for the worst. I'm just fucking around with this milk clarification. I think it's getting somewhere, though. Might be done by morning. I'll see what it is. What's the time? 9:30. Oh, I'm not going to have a drink. I was thinking, because I actually have a milk clarified cocktail in the fridge. I was thinking of having a drink. It's like 9:30 already. I'm not going to have a drink. Have a night off the drinks. That is an excellent analogy, Mofo sign, with people being shitheads. It's kind of like building a bridge. Gravity's constantly trying to kill your bridge. Yeah, you're always being dragged down. And proper design will stop gravity from pulling down the bridge. Proper design of a democracy will limit the ability of really fucked people to fuck it up, ideally. But everything can be subverted. You just got to, nothing's said. Anyone who says, I have the be-all and end-all answer, put this in place, it will be perfect forever, nothing ever needs to change, that person is an idiot. Unless you're saying, I have an improvement, this would improve the system would be improved if we do that, and they are constantly open to, let's see what the next improvement could be. If you're not into constant improvement, you're going to atrophy. Oh, shit. Shannon on Facebook. Speaking of gravity, you were debating a flat earther today. That is not something I would spend doing. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a lot of fun. Locust Strip, a place where Borat lives. Kazakhstan. Yes. Glorious country of Kazakhstan. Yes, I think Kazakhstan has better internet speeds than Australia does. So there you go. Safa, Murdoch is fucking up democracy in Australia, UK, and America. He doesn't really have much influence in Europe, but America, UK, and Australia, he has royally fucked democracy over the last couple of decades. Worst of all in the US, but the US has the system that's already kind of fucked to start with. I feel like the British and Australian parliamentary systems are a bit more robust than the American political system. I love that, Shannon. Bashing your head against a brick wall would be more constructive than arguing with a flat earther, because at least you'd be burning off some calories while you did that. Is there an official list of developed countries, Locust Trooper? I did not see that. And Kazakhstan's on it now. And so if you're saying Kazakhstan doesn't believe in New Zealand, that is an interesting view to have, to not believe in the existence of a country. That is an interesting way. I think I do need a drink, though, I'm going to have a non-alcoholic beverage. But not a great big one, because I don't want to wet the bed. I'll just maybe drink the ice melting. That's called water, isn't it? I called it the ice melting. It's actually water. Bloody hell. And I haven't drunk any booze tonight. And I'm still confusing the term for water. Hoo boy. Oh, God, I want to put the dishwasher on before I go to bed too. Jesus, I lead an exciting life, don't I? I really enjoy these hangouts and whatnot, but Who's saying Kazakhstan's a rich? Yeah, I admit my geographical and political knowledge of the world is really shithouse. I mean, I know, because some countries kind of stand out. So if you ask me about, oh, what do you know about X? Oh, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. But Kazakhstan, I have no specific knowledge of. So, Safi, you're saying a New Zealand lady went to Kazakhstan, showed her passport. They thought she was from Australia and pointed out on the map. Wow. Okay. I think I heard that story. Yes. I think I read that story. Yes. Free healthcare in Kazakhstan. Great. The former. Okay, let's look at it. I know vaguely where Kazakhstan is. Let's go maps. Where's maps? Maps. Okay. The course centered on my neighborhood because the last thing I was searching. Kazakhstan. Or do I want Kazakhstani restaurants? There we go, Kazakhstan. Okay. So, where is it? Oh, yeah, it's just above. See, okay. Turkmenistan, that's the fucking weird one. Turkmenistan is fucking crazy pants. So, it's all the stands that are there together. You go from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. So all the stands there in the middle. Yeah, I was kind of right. And it borders onto Russia and Mongolia. I was kind of right. Oh, Ukraine's all the way over there. Okay, how big is that? Oh, man. Yeah, no, my geographical knowledge is fucking shit. I knew where all the stands were, and I probably would have got Kazakhstan very close if I had to pick it out on an unlabeled map. But I think the Ukraine's further west than I thought it was. Oh, no, those Western Europe countries, they're really small. Eastern Europe is fucking huge. Eastern Europe going into Asia is fucking huge. Anyway. Yes, it was one of the former Soviet ones. Charlie, yes. Good call. Kazakhstan, greatest country in the world. All other countries run by little girls. Ukraine is strong. I don't know if funny is the right word, but I always kind of found it. And Stan probably means country of. I mean, this is my galaxy brain working here. Stan probably means country of. Kazakhstan, country of the Kazakhs. Uzbekistan, country of the Uzbeks. Turkmenistan, country of the Turkmen. Afghanistan, country of the Afghans. Pakistan, country of the Pakis. That sounds like an insult. So that's my galaxy brain at work there. I assume Stan means country of. Nice. Safia, after 6 years in Ukraine, you can't speak Ukrainian, but you can understand. That's not bad though. That's not bad at all. I am typical fucking English speaker. I do not speak any other languages, which I'm mildly embarrassed by. But I'll just deal with the fact that I don't know any other languages because I'm old now. But I didn't have an excuse when I was young. I actually really regret it. I really regret not learning multiple languages. And it really, because if you're in Europe, you're fucking crazy if you don't learn multiple languages just because of how close everyone is together. But with us being so isolated, it's like, there's no reason to learn another language. And I really do regret. Oh, Stella, thank you. You looked it up. It's Persian for place of. That makes sense. There you go. My galaxy brain was on the right track. Oh, Megaleech looked it up too. Stan is formed from the old Iranian root "star" to stay and means place where one stays. Yeah, homeland of the Kazakhs, homeland of the. Yep, that's it. Locust Trooper, you can speak Korean, Philo, and Indo. Nice. Some of the Russian language overpowers it. In Russia, language speaks you. I had a friend who was a white guy who weirdly got a job. I don't know the exact chain of events, but he was working for the Indonesian government when the military were running everything, became really fluent in Bahasa Indonesian. And I met him when we were both working IT. This was quite a while back. And he was like a Liberal Party veteran and stuff. And he was getting the shits with IT and wanted to do something else. And I was like, dude, get a fucking job working for ASIO. You've worked with the Indonesian military. You're really fluent in Bahasa. And you understand how they fucking work politically. And he just felt like that was too much trouble. And I'm not sure if he was actually ever hiding something from me. Like the reason he wasn't working for them anymore was that something happened, which made him a security risk or something. So, because I really, when he kept saying, "No, I don't know what to do, I'm kind of sick of IT," and I was like, fuck, work for the Australian government, the Foreign Service. Your expertise with Indonesia would serve you really well. Do that. And he never wanted to do that. And I was like, I do not fucking understand what's happening here. You know, you have this in, you're ahead of so many people. Why wouldn't you do that? So I never knew if he was kind of hiding something from me, that some shit had happened and he'd be regarded as a security risk. You never know with people, do you? You never know. Because I couldn't think of a good reason of why he wouldn't do these things. But he didn't want to do it. So what are you going to do? Shannon, you love the shirt? I love the shirt. 70s vibe with the TIE fighter. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Locust Trooper. So much shit happened in Indonesia over the fucking decades with various military dictatorships. Sukarno, then Suharto, and the kind of sort of transition to democracy instead of military dictatorship. So much shit happened in that part of the world over the 20th century. Yeah. I mean, it was a Dutch colony, yeah? They called it the Dutch East Indies. That was Indonesia, wasn't it? Well, it was a Dutch colony. I'm trying to remember. Again, this is my really... well, I already said I'm shitty at geography and global politics. I'm also pretty shitty at history. So, but I'm pretty sure Indonesia was the Dutch East Indies. It was, their colonial outpost. Anyway. Well, Shannon, your shirt currently has voted most likely to travel back in time, class of 2200. Nice. Yeah, Locust Trooper, the 20th century was a big pile of suck, actually. That's right, Safa Batavia. Oh, yes. But was it Batavia after the Dutch East Indies, or was the Dutch East Indies something else? Or was that never the official name of it? It was the Dutch East the Dutch East India Company set up Batavia. Charlie, your Opa lived in Jakarta back in the day. Yeah, nice. Oh, I hope it was nice. Oh, and so the Dutch love Indonesian food as a result. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought, Indonesia was a Dutch colony, definitely. And you had like Philippines was a Spanish colony. Who else was in that part of the world? Portuguese were probably in there somewhere. Obviously, a lot of the Pacific Islands are French. They were colonized by the French. And so a lot of the Pacific Islanders still speak French as the primary language. Obviously the British were colonizing, like Australia. Who were the other major? That was probably it. The Spanish, the Dutch, the French, the English. That's probably everyone who was here. I'm not sure. Safi, you reckon the Germans were in PNG? You may well be right. I don't know. As I said, that would be another massive gap in my geographical, historical, political knowledge, which I freely admit is shit. Big bad ads. They were Samoa. You see, the Germans were PNG and Samoa. There you go. Yes, actually, you're right, Locust Trooper. You get some of the Pacific Islands are actually under French control. They don't have independence. They haven't asked for independence. But yes, you had French colonizers all the way from the Southeast Asia through to the Caribbean and Africa. I agree, Safa. That's super random. The Germans. And I don't know why it is, because I'm going, well, the Dutch were there and the French were there and the English were there and the Portuguese were there. Why am I surprised about the Germans there? But I am surprised. I'm actually really surprised. That's right, Safa. New Caledonia actually just voted down independence from France. That's quite recent. And yes, you're right. Like a trooper, Australia would have control over some of the Micronesian islands. Yep. Shannon, share the link with me on Facebook and I will bring it up. Shannon's going to share some sort of link about Murdoch. What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay. So tell me when you've sent me the link. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, we were talking about Rudd's petition earlier, actually. Yes, he wants a royal commission into Murdoch Media. It's not going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I am prepared to just super full on say never going to happen. Because it's politically motivated and the Liberal Party can clearly and accurately say that's politically motivated and sour grapes from Kevin Rudd, it's bullshit. And so the Liberal Party can absolutely safely ignore it. I don't know that the Labor Party has the wherewithal to push for it. But the Liberals will just ignore it, and it absolutely will not happen. Murphyson, you've been having curfew chat every fortnight for designing open democracy. And you had a recent development starting a wiki to try and find resources projects exist to improve democracy. Well, that's a good thing to know. Does New Caledonia get its name from the shape of cannelloni pasta and the shape of the islands? No, I'm not sure if that's a joke, Megalich. Caledonia was the Roman name for Scotland. So, like we had New South Wales and the Dutch called Australia New Holland. New Caledonia is New Scotland. So, there you go. Oh, Vote Compass stopped being funded on ABC. Dang. Okay. Yes, it was a relief that our curfew went away, Safa. That was a big relief. It was a joke. Yeah. I thought it was a joke, but I wasn't sure. You can never be sure. Have a new name for it. Lockdown chat. Well, that's what this is. That's what I've been doing. I started off doing a couple live streams and then we all got fucking locked down and I'm like, so doing it like all the time. Yes, Stella, Nova Scotia in Canada is French New Scotland. Yes. Why people insisted on doing that, I don't know. And yes, Safa Abbott hated the ABC and loves Murdoch. Those are true statements. Raiders, I tend to agree with you there. The sleeping giants approach to Murdoch is doing more than Rudd's petition. Rudd's petition, again, I actually agree with it. I want to stress that. I agree with it. But Rudd's petition comes across as self-serving political game playing and sour grapes. So it will never get off the ground, because it's far too easy for the Liberal Party to just go, that's bullshit, Rudd's just a wanker. It's just way too easy for them to say that. So, yeah, Stella, New York. And New York was once New Amsterdam. I know that thanks to the song Istanbul or Constantinople. Istanbul changed its name heaps of times over the years. It's like we were having the discussion about Leningrad, Stalingrad, St. Petersburg, you know, the city constantly having its name changed. Volgograd. Fuck yeah, Locust Trooper made $15,000 on 3D printing. Yeah, bro. That's knock it out of the park. That's excellent work. Oh, shit. I did see that mofo sign. The Australian federal government is proposing changes to responsible lending laws, which we now know was a major contributor to the global financial crisis because that shit got out of control in the US, as in trillions of dollars of loans being made out to people who couldn't possibly pay it back. Yeah, Safa, you want a Russian city called Safograd. Hey, dude, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Start working on it now. I don't know, build up your army. Something like that. Something like that. That could work. That's it, Stella. It's nobody's business but the Turks. You know the song. Istanbul or Constantinople. Yeah, but what do we have? We have in Australia, we have heaps of places that are either just named after somewhere in the UK or named after some person from the UK. Yes, Shannon in Maharashtra, city name you. It is a thing. Now I'm just going, oh, what was that guy's name? Yakov Smirnov. And you'll be shocked to learn that he's, actually a right-wing dick. Yes, big bad ads. That is a subtle distinction. New South Wales is not the New Wales to the south. It's referring to South Wales in the UK and saying this is New South Wales. Locust Tripper, you've used your money to make your girlfriend happy with $1,000 bag. Yep, dude, that's the way to a happy home life right there, brother. So, yeah, it's yeah, keep everyone happy at home. So, hey, it sounds like you got a strategy happening, Locust Trooper. Stick with that. Ooh, Charlie learned Queensland was going to be called Cooksland. Yes. Yeah, it probably was like Tasmania was Van Diemen's land. He was a Dutch explorer, Van Diemen, I think. That sounds right, Dutch. And then it was renamed after Abel Tasman, Tasmania. Well, John Batman, who was kind of regarded as having the first white settlement on what's now Melbourne, and he convinced people to, turn it into a major city. He lobbied hard for the city to either just be called Batman or Batmania. How cool, though, would it be if we lived in a city called Batman? That would be cool. Shannon, your wife's currently watching. Happy 37th birthday, Eleanor. I feel privileged to be able to wish you a happy birthday. Happy 37th, Eleanor. That is excellent. I'm glad to be able to actually say happy birthday. Big Bad's Queen Victoria demanded Queensland named after her, but Victoria was taken. Oh my God. That just sounds horribly plausible. That sounds horribly plausible. Oh, okay. Sorry, you just Megalich with your joke there. Lucky they didn't go with Cooksland because people would call it Coxland. Now, this is a real thing. When Australia currency went decimal, switched from pounds and shillings and whatnot, there was quite some debate about what the currency should be called. We did go with dollar. a lot of people were opposed to that because they didn't want to be like slavishly following America and having a dollar. One of the suggestions for the name of the currency in Australia was the Austral, as in, it should have been $do, Safa. But one of the serious nominations for the name of the currency was the Austral. And I believe somewhere in South America did actually call their currency the Austral. And as a few people pointed, it's really lucky we didn't go with that, because if it was called the Austral, you would have had all these kids going, "Hey mate, give us a nostril," and the currency would absolutely be colloquially known as the nostril. So we're kind of lucky they do. Yes. Okay, Shannon, you live near a suburb called Austral. It's used in a few things, yeah. Locust Trooper, we should have called it Roo Pounds. That could have worked. Oh, yes, Stella, the name Cockburn is actually pronounced Coburn. And I learned that from there's a musician who had a few kind of almost indie hits in the 80s, Bruce Cockburn, spelled Cockburn. What were the closest things he had to hits? Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner, Excitable Boy. I think it was Werewolves of London. Werewolves of London. No, that's Warren Zevon. Oh, God, Excitable Boy is Warren Zevon as well. I'm getting them mixed up. That's right. Bruce Cockburn had one I really liked called If I Had a Rocket Launcher, because the line in the chorus was, "If I had a rocket launcher, some son of a bitch would die." Abigail, you've had a boss whose surname was Cockburn? Shannon, how the GST affected the homeless. Instead of saying gives $1, it's like gives us $1.10. Yep. Oh no, Locust Trooper. Oh no. You had a FaceTime with your dad to introduce your Sudanese girlfriend, and when she came on, the video call went off. Oh no. No, hopefully acceptance comes, mate. Not necessarily going to be easy, but hopefully, it gets there in the end. Just thinking, I might have actually got somewhere with my stupid fucking milk clarification, but I'm going to have to leave it overnight, I can see. Oh. Yes, I've actually seen that one, Raiders. Sally Coburn in Melbourne, the sex therapist, the Cockburn, yeah. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Locust Trooper. Your dad's an idiot. Hopefully he's going to come around. Stranger things have happened. Sometimes people who have, a stupid bigotry, whether it's racism or homophobia or whatever, when it comes into their own life, while they're difficult with it at the start, sometimes they do actually learn. Locust Trooper, why are baby boomers so racist? Man, it was just a thing. It's just a thing. It's not limited to them, and they're broadly less racist than the generation before them. Wow, okay. Loving that, Shannon. Friend of yours, expat from South Africa. Her mum's a Black Panther, her dad's KKK. Yeah, South Africans are interesting. I had a South African girlfriend for a while, and by South African standards, she was a really radical progressive. But every now and then she'd say she, like literally before me, she was going out with a black woman, right? So yeah, obviously, not bigoted, right? But then her ex actually started up with a black woman, and she started saying some really, really racist shit about her ex's new girlfriend. Like, what would you be doing with a black bitch? And I let it go for a while and went, what the fuck are you saying? You were going out with a black woman. And yeah, far too late down the track, I sort of realized she had bipolar disorder. And it wasn't getting treated because you can get better if you get the proper treatment. Yes, Shannon, you thought you had a dysfunctional. Well, that's the old Irish Rovers song, The Orange and the Green. It is the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. Me father, he was orange, and me mother, she was green. So he's saying he's the product of a Protestant Catholic marriage, which always caused fights in the family. Zafa, look, racism is a thing that's always going to exist because, it gets better, but some bigotries never go away completely. Oh, Shannon, am I friends with that? Not with that ex. No. That ended super badly. And I've managed to never see her again. And this is 20 years ago, right? To the point, if I was unfortunate enough to bump into her, I would not have a conversation. She would probably try to, and I would just say, fuck off. Because I don't need that shit. But that is the only one of my exes that I would not be friendly with if I ran into them. So that's not a bad success rate. Only one of them I wouldn't be friendly with. But no, that one ended super badly. And like I said, kind of learning after the fact, far too late. A big reason for the problems was she had bipolar disorder and wasn't being treated. But it's fucking too much for me, man. Abigail has a joke about Irish guy walking down the stream. Someone put a gun to his back and said, are you a Catholic or a Protestant? So he said, oh, actually, I'm Jewish. And so how do you do the punchline? Guy with the gun says, that makes me the happiest Muslim in all of Ireland. Yes. Yes. I think I heard Dave Allen tell that joke in the 70s. Stella, you had an idiot at work, had to give a pineapple. He's Afrikaans. Oh, keeps going on about diabos. And tried to get a co-worker to abuse some Aboriginals. What a fuckhead. Yeah, you've got to give him the multiple warnings, but someone who's like that, they're not going to change. So the opportunity will arise to give them the multiple warnings. Shannon, curiosity intensifies. Dude, look, okay, I'm not in the habit of publicly dissing exes. And we didn't actually do Angry Bunch tonight, but next time we do an after show, I'll fucking tell you everything. That's fine. I'm just not in the habit of publicly dissing exes. So I think it's a bit tacky. Although I obviously did just diss her, and I just pointed out that it ended badly enough that I would just tell her to fuck off if I saw her. Locust Trooper, there's a big famous Chinese expat on YouTube called Saperta, South African, very negative and racist. Why? I love that you have an inquiring mind, man. You're always asking why people are like that. Fuck, man, some people just are. Look, usually all bigotries come from fear and ignorance. And I don't mean ignorance in an insulting way. I mean literally just not understanding. It's fear of strangers. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of the different. Bigots will always say they're not scared. They are. It's fear. It absolutely is. It is a phobia that's driving their ridiculous bigotry. That's the simplest thing. It is a fear of someone who's different. It's a fear of things changing too much. Some people just really don't like big changes. So, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, that sounds like where I grew up, Shannon. You have a friend's dad uses words like coon and bung a bit too liberally. Yep. That's what I grew up with. That is absolutely... Oh, Stella, you keep expecting this bloke to drop the Kaffir slur. I like a stripper. I also think bigots are dickheads, but the core of bigotry is fear of the different. Sorry, I was just thinking of shit from when I grew up. Now, no, I probably shouldn't say that. I was still thinking with the South Africans saying Kaffir. I remember I worked for a state government department years ago. This is like literally probably 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. And it was in Victoria, the Department of Human Services is absurdly large and covers an absurd number of unrelated things. It covers like health and refugee things and visas for people. And it's a bit on the website because you could get a preferential visa and a fast path to Australian citizenship if you move to a rural area rather than an urban area. And they had all these video success stories on the website of people who emigrated to a country town and set up their business there and were really successful. And it was a great success story. And there was this South African couple who opened a bakery in somewhere in country Victoria. Anyway, they're talking about, oh, it's great, it's wonderful. Just the environment here, the people are so nice. It's a wonderful community, and they're good. And they just kept going on about how much they like the people there. And then the subtext started to creep in. This is a country town; everyone's white. And I was just literally waiting for this South African guy to just go, "Oh, it's a wonderful community. I love the people here. There's no Catholics. We don't have any Catholics here." And it's just like fucking hell. The subtext was so strong that the reason this South African guy liked the country town is there was no black people there. Sunbear, you watch the Penzas channel. Not sure he's racist. Seen a lot of bad shit go down. His own family being victimized. Word to the wise, Sunbear. I do not know this channel at all. A lot, and I've just seen this again and again and again and again and again and again. A lot of people who say they're not racist. It's just, the bad things they've seen and the bad things that happened to their family. You may be shocked to learn a lot of them are lying. They're just fucking lying. And actually, I kind of think I know who this person is now. And I am very dubious about accepting the word of a current or former white South African or white Zimbabwean is another big one, where they talk about all the terrible things the black people have done. It's not good. A lot of them, their real problem isn't and look, people, there is violence. People get killed, and bad things happen. With a lot of these people, their real problem isn't the bad thing that happens. The real problem is black people. Not saying that's universal. I'm just saying exercise caution in taking people putting stories like that out at face value, because I've seen them repeatedly exposed as liars. So, and that's also become this horrifying talking point of alt-right fascists and neo-Nazis, the great replacement, white genocide. As soon as someone starts saying words like that, it's like, okay, I think I see where this is going now. Nog, hi, you got here literally in the last minute, but hello. I'm happy to be able to say hello to you just before I go to bed, which is a thing. Well, actually, I'm going to try and be productive and do the dishwasher before I go to bed. It won't take long. I'll do it. I'm a tough guy. I can do it. And fuck around with my milk clarification as well. Yeah, Stella, you got to worry. As soon as the white South Africans, or like I said, Zimbabweans, start talking about, I'm not racist, but this is bad thing that the blacks do. It is like, okay, shut up. Digging yourself a hole there, guys. Anyway, good night, all. It is, in fact, nighty night time for me. Going to Betty Buys. Hope you all stay well. Like I said, I am taking the night off tomorrow night. She'll be watching some televisual entertainment tomorrow night with Mrs. Angry. And probably be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days, probably. And I hope to see you then. I hope you look after yourselves. And I will see you another time. Bye for now.